Sherry Winston, and welcome to Uncorked. If this is your first time here, I love having you, and if you are returning, I've got a confession to make. So for the last several weeks, I've been trying to help you guys work out your ideas for your first novel. And at the same time, I have been trying to work out my ideas for my first adult novel. I've written several books for young people, but no books for grown-ups, and I wanted to change that. So I decided, I am going to try and write a romance with a little mystery suspense thrown in. Confession time. I've read approximately 1.28 million mysteries and thrillers and suspense, and approximately a dozen romance novels, minus the ones I used to sneak out of my mother's little hidden stash when I was a kid. The ones that made me think I wanted to write romance in the first place. So fast forward to this past week, where I made a decision, and the decision is I'm not writing a romance. I'm not enjoying the process. I don't feel equipped for that process. I think it's a fine process. The books that I've read that I've enjoyed that were romance, I really enjoyed. But when I sat down and did the work that I suggested and was guiding you guys through, I had to come to the decision that every time I tried to get into the writing, the romance turned into a murder mystery. So, am I daunted? I am not daunted. Am I giving up? No, I am not giving up. So, we're going to uncork some creativity and talk about it. Listen to that pour. Gotta love a good pour. Yeah. So, here's the deal. One of my favorite types of mystery, first of all, I love all kinds of mystery. I love thriller, I love suspense, I love police procedurals, but I always had a fondness for cozies. While I enjoy some of the harder hitting, even more graphic depictions of violence and human struggle that I've read in some novels, when I sit down and try to write my own, I never got to that level. And so I've told myself this week that that's okay. And I wanted to say to you guys, first of all, I wanted to ask, how are you doing in your writing? How are you doing? What have you learned? Have you learned anything about yourself or what your goals are, what you're trying to do? Because like me, maybe you went down a path and that path just didn't feel comfortable for you. Are you going to quit? Are you going to give up? No, I don't think you are. I think you're going to get your little booty back in that chair and get that laptop out. And this time you're going to say, well, if that's not working, what will work? And give it a shot. That's what I'm doing. So I wanted to talk to you about, well, first of all, it's disrespectful to pour a fresh glass of wine and not partake. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so as cozy novels are concerned, there are two types of two different groups that I wanted to talk about. One I have mentioned before, and the other I have not. So the first one, the one that I've spoken of before, is the Thursday Murder Club. It is, believe it or not, even though the people are older, it's a more high octane mystery series because there is a lot going on. So that's the first thing. There are several books in that Thursday Murder Club. I think I've referenced that before. I also think I've told you there's a movie on Netflix, but the series is so darling. And one of the things that I really love is that the main characters are older. They're older people, and it's set in a fictitious England or English retirement village, upscale, very upscale, and the four main characters have a club or a little get together in the retirement home, and they are in there trying to solve cold cases that a former member brought to their attention. So what happens is, in the course of doing that, they get swallowed up in a real life murder mystery, which is fun and just just amazing. So I thought, and as I said, I think I talked to you about that, but one I don't believe I talked to you about that I've absolutely loved. And the first one, by the way, Thursday Murder Club, is up to book 5, and it is written by Richard Osman. And again, I can't stress enough how beautifully realized his characters are, that he makes you laugh with them and he makes you want to cry with them. And he really has brought together an ensemble cast that he wants you to root for. Unlike a Murder, She Wrote, where there is one designated main character who has several satellite people in her orbit who are there to help Jessica. In Thursday Murder Club, it is a pure ensemble. And so each book highlights the strengths and the weaknesses sometimes of the various club members. Oh, I just realized I didn't do that. So that's Thursday Murder Club. As I said, it's up to book 5. I've listened to all of them. It's wonderful. It's such a good time. If you've got a road trip coming up or a flight or anything, I encourage you, and if you like murder mysteries, I encourage you to listen to it because it's great. Now, the other one, switching gears, the other somewhat cozy mystery also features an older female protagonist, but like Murder, She Wrote, like with Jessica Fletcher, this character is solitary, but she has a lot of people surrounding her to build up her cast. And it is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sultano. I'm sorry, Jessie. I love your work. I love Vera. Oh my God, she is so funny, and she is pesky and spicy. She is not spicy. That's not the right word. But she's just got a lot of grit, and she constantly is telling people, "Oh, I'm old lady. I am 60 years old," and it's like, Vera, no one is buying that. I'm a poor immigrant lady. She is an immigrant, but she is not. First of all, her English is as good as anybody. She only puts on the accent when she is, it's her equivalent to, I guess, some young chippy batting her eyes to try to get out of a ticket or something. Vera is not feeble, and she is not hard of understanding English. She is so willful. But the thing about the Vera books that I love the most is they are so funny. They're just so funny and relatable. It's like, unfortunately, both my mom and my grandma have passed, but I listen to those books and I'm just like, man, I just want to call them. I want to say, oh my God, do I have a Chinese grandma? Because Vera is hilarious. So, and that's the thing, whether, regardless of your ethnicity or your background, Vera feels like your people. She feels like your relative. She feels like someone that you know and care deeply about. And that's the trick to, I think, writing a sustainable cozy. So I am going to put butt back in chair, get back here, and start again to build on the characters. I'm going to keep the same characters. I'm going to keep my setting, my little fictitious village that I've created in northwestern Michigan, and all of that. But it is going to be geared more toward the cozy scene than the romance scene. But there'll be a little romance thrown in. My character is older. She's not dead. she wouldn't mind having a little company, a little somebody to hang out with, watch a movie, talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can't tell you how much better I feel now that I've made that decision. I had been pushing, I was like Sisyphus, just pushing that boulder up the hill. Oh, I gotta write this romance. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna do it. I said I was gonna do it. The boulder kept rolling back down on me, and I get back under, and I'm pushing the boulder again. I had to finally get out of the way before the boulder crushed me. I'm still very much committed to this. I'm very committed to working on my outline, which we talked about last week. And that was really the process that sort of turned it around for me, because when I worked on the outline, I left out out of the romance. And then I knew I had a problem. I was like, you're not really writing a romance. You're writing something else. So I had to say, okay, all right, I've accepted that. And in that vein, I want to say that I want to help you write anything that you're trying to write. If you're trying, if you want to write an adult novel, if you want to write a cozy with me, come on, hang out. I'm going to talk to you about my process and we can do this. But really, I thought, there's so many people that I encounter all the time: teachers, moms, dental assistants, dads waiting to pick up their kid. Over the years, just a plethora of people. And everybody who has children seems to want to write a children's book. Hey, I'm not saying you can't. I think you can. And so I am going to lean into my expertise and talk more specifically about what it's like to write for children, what it takes to write for children. This weekend, I am going to the beautiful, lovely Orlando, Florida, where I will be participating in a Orlando's Children's Book Festival hosted by I think it's the Block Bookstore. And it's the first of its kind. And I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait to take some video and pictures and post them and all of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I want to lean into sharing with you what my specialty is. And as I've said before many times, I want to learn from you. I want this to be a safe place for you to learn from me. There's no judgment. There's no need to explain, I've never written. I want to write this book so bad. I've got a message on one of the socials from someone who said, I've got this idea. I want to write a story about my life. Well, come back next week. And I'm going to talk to you about writing for your life. I'm going to talk about it from writing for kids' perspective, but it should be applicable to anyone. So I hope that's okay. I feel so much better now that I've come to this decision and now that I've shared it with you. You guys, it's been great. Thank you for coming by, and see you at the bookstore.